It's a WCW thing on 96.3 Nation FM where good music lives. My name is Mariam Bishar.
Most bankable host Darren. Aseli. As we do that, we jump straight back to the papers and looking at some of the stories making the headlines. Is this double? So most recently, President Ruto met Ford Foundation head months after accusing charity of sponsoring demos. And of course, during the demos to Liskia, government pointing towards non-governmental organizations, especially the international ones, stating that they have been funding directly the demos that we had, which are Gen Z-led protests.
That's right. Meanwhile, on the ground, people would tell you they did not need any financial motivation to go to the streets. But President William Ruto yesterday met Ford Foundation President Darren in what appears to be a move to mend fences or double speak, as you've said. Dr. Ruto is in the US for the United Nations General Assembly. It's the 79th edition. And he says Kenya appreciates the Ford Foundation's commitment to safeguarding our democracy and supporting Kenya's calls for reforms in the global economic institutions, climate action, and modern tech regulation. This is yesterday. However, just a few months ago, he said, quote unquote, on the same thing, that Kenya is a democratic country governed by the rule of law and run by democratically elected leaders. We cannot run our country through anarchy or revolution. We will ensure that whoever is sponsoring these protests is met with the full force of the law. He also said, yes?
No. Continue.
Our youth are not available for retrogressive assignments. Those sponsoring them to cause violence and mayhem must be ashamed. We ask the Ford Foundation to explain to Kenyans its role in the recent protests.
I took a breather there because I'm just looking at a situation whereby now has the president realized that Ford Foundation has nothing to do with the Gen Z-led protests, or maybe is he looking for an opportunity to work with Ford Foundation once again? Because I've not had any apology from Ford Foundation. They've not. Did they give an apology?
No, they said they had nothing to do with the protest. They said we do not fund or sponsor the protest against the finance bill, and we have a strictly non-partisan policy for all our grant making. They do give grants to various organizations that deal with democracy and governance in the country, but they have the records are all public on their website, etc. And they said, all what we do is in the public eye. Sponsoring protests is not one of those things.
Yeah, and clearly stated right there. And I hope that our president can always look at the issues for what they are, because if we have an issue, tunakwambia wewe ni baba yetu, hatuna viatu, unatuambia nani amewambia maneno ya viatu, nani amewambia kuna kitu inaitwa viatu. We want school fees. Anasema school fees ndio nini? Nyinyi muende shule nitaongea na mwalimu. And then sasa unaona ameongea na mwalimu.
Very, very true. I mean, also the fact that he's at the United Nations General Assembly, it seems that he does not want to anger his friends in the West by, of course, coming down on the Ford Foundation. Mantra by both